Today we are looking at financial data that shows how AI business usage is way up. Welcome back to the AI Daily Brief. One of the big discussions on this show is, of course, the discussion of how much AI is actually being adopted. You will frequently hear me quote skeptical op-eds and then refute them with the evidence that we have based on our experience with superintelligent. But anecdotes versus anecdotes is always a hard argument to sort through, and so I'm always thrilled when we get some actual factual data. The data that we have today comes from Ramp. Ramp calls themselves the ultimate platform for modern finance teams, and basically it's a company that helps other companies with their team spending. They have corporate credit cards, spending limits, approval flows, a vendor payment system, and more. In other words, for the purposes of this conversation, they have a lot of data about how companies are spending and on what. And as you'll see, information on how companies are spending on AI. Yesterday, they published their 2024 Business Spending Benchmark Summer Report, and one of the areas they focused was on artificial intelligence. The company writes, Ramp processes billions of dollars each month, giving us a front row seat for spotting new tools that companies are testing as well as vendors that are becoming mainstream. We've grown our database of AI vendors to over 1,500 vendors, including longtime tools that may not have started as AI-focused but have since incorporated cutting-edge AI capabilities. Our latest analysis of Ramp customers aggregated and anonymized transactions shows AI was the fastest-growing expense of Q2 as more companies lean on the technology to unlock efficiency gains and new product capabilities. So let's discuss some of their key findings. One, they write, companies are making bigger and longer-term AI investments. Longer duration and prepaid services, they write, tend to go on AP. And in Q2, mean AP spend for AI vendors rose 375% year over year. Also, it seems that retention is up. With Ramp writing, customers are staying with top AI vendors. 70.4% of customers who started spending with these vendors in 2023 continued to spend after 12 months. Second key finding, foundation AI models top the list of first-time software purchases. OpenAI leads the list of software vendors that companies purchase for the first time in the first half of 2024, followed closely by Anthropic, suggesting companies are actively tailoring models for internal operations and customer-facing capabilities. Third, companies are purchasing software to scale creative functions. Tools for generating images, audio, text, and video, they write, are gaining traction. Grammarly, Midjourney, and 11 Labs all rank high on the list of top AI vendors. And finally, while this isn't exactly related to AI, it does tell a story that includes AI. Key finding 4, businesses are supplementing their workforce with independent contractors. Despite a job market favoring employers, businesses of all sizes boosted spending on flexible labor solutions like Upwork. Combining these purchases with AI spending, companies are taking advantage of options to boost productivity without hiring new staff. So let's come back and look at a few of the key nuggets of information or insight derived from this. As part of the release of this report, they put together a blog post called Companies Go All In on AI. 5 charts show how. Chart 1 relates to AI vendor stickiness. Ramp writes, last year, AI was still an experimental area for many organizations. Very few companies spent on a recurring basis with vendors we categorized as AI. The amount they spent with these vendors on Ramp cards and Ramp bill pay was also nominal. Now they say businesses are going all in. Our data show customers who started spending with top AI vendors in 2023 are likelier to stick with these vendors than those who started spending in 2022 or 2021, a signal that companies are increasingly convinced of AI's value. And here's the comparison. Of businesses that started spending with top AI vendors in 2022, just 42% were still spending with them a year later, whereas those who started with AI vendors last year, 70% are still spending with the same vendors 12 months later. What's more, these companies are spending more. The mean accounts payable spend with AI vendors has nearly tripled since the start of the year. The trend of longer duration AI engagements is also evident if we look at AP spending trends for AI vendors. In Q2, mean AP spend with AI vendors rose 375% year over year. The number was at around $20K in quarter 2 2023, getting all the way up to almost $100K in quarter 2 of 2024. There was a huge jump between quarter 4 2023 and quarter 1 2024, going from around $35K to around $90K. They also said that these AP expenditures were dominated by OpenAI, with companies spending $181,000 on average. Even as certain solutions become more locked in, however, it also appears that there's a lot more experimentation. The third chart that they share is that card spend with AI vendors doubled year over year, which they call a sign of further experimentation. Quote, if AP spend represents companies making significant vendor commitments, then card spend indicates companies' willingness to explore different vendors or increase usage of less expensive tools. Typically, companies pay for new tools month to month via credit wherever possible and only shift to AP for annual subscriptions. Mean card spend with AI vendors increased 104% year over year, suggesting companies continue to experiment even as they start to lock in their favorite tools. In quarter 2 of last year, the mean card spend with AI vendors was around $1,000, which has gone up to a little over $2,000 in quarter 2 of this year. In terms of specific companies, Anthropic is apparently doing really well. Right now, they say machine learning operations and platforms are the clear winners of the AI category, with nearly 80% of customers that are using AI transacting in that category. Anthropic, they say, is seeing particularly rapid adoption when we look at the percentage of businesses purchasing AI models on ramp cards. Anthropic's market share was around 4% at the start of this year, but jumped to 17% in quarter two. In July alone, they say the number of transacting businesses soared 22% month over month, and total card spend nearly doubled. This is some of the first data evidence that we've seen that the introduction of Claude 3.5 Sonnet, as well as new product features like artifacts, are clearly manifesting themselves in Anthropic's performance. The last chart that they share is the fastest growing AI vendors by customer count. They sum up by saying AI productivity tools and OpenAI alternatives are growing fast. Part of what this chart shows, they say, is more evidence of Anthropic's growth, but they also write that vendors that offer novel approaches to everyday work are becoming commonplace as companies turn to AI to boost employee productivity. Suno AI, for instance, lets anyone generate music using simple text prompts. Limitless runs in the background to capture your audio and screen automatically so you can generate meeting summaries, emails, and more at a later time. Instantly offers AI for sales engagement and lead intelligence. Cursor makes an AI code editor. And you can see all of these tools showing up in the top 10 of fastest growing AI vendors by customer count. And that's across small, large, and mid-market businesses. Ramp co-founder Eric Gleeman really sums this up when he tweets, "AI is no longer a toy." This really is some of the best evidence that we have so far of just how much adoption is increasing. This is not survey data. This is not self-reporting. This is actual factual spend, and it is increasing with speed. Really interesting stuff. Great job to Ramp on publishing this. I would love to see this from other companies like Mercury and Brex as well to help fill out the picture of just how AI is getting adopted by businesses. For now, though, that is going to do it for today's AI Daily Brief. Until next time, peace.